Hey, Charles here with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Today I'm going to show you how to install a Tusk UTV quick release cargo system on your XP1000. These are a great option for people going on adventure rides or anyone who needs to carry luggage with them. They're going to help protect your items from the dust and the elements, as well as help protect your items from theft. You've got a security knob inside and two locks on top of the box. Now, once you get to camp and you need to get your items, these have a quick release cable. You just pull that, pull the box off, and you have access to all your items. Now, as far as fitment goes, this is going to work for your turbos, your two-seaters, and your four-seaters. And there is going to be some differences for the bed mount system from two-seater to four-seater. So make sure you type in your correct year, make, and model when you go to order these. So again, we're going to show you how to install the bed mount system and the cage mount. So let's go ahead and get started. To do this job, we need some common hand tools. So we've got a 5mm Allen, paint pen, a centering punch. We're going to be using 10, 13, and 15mm sockets. We've got a number 2 Phillips, 11/32 drill bit, and a tape measure along with some safety glasses. So right here we have the cage mounted system. Now be aware, the cage mounts, they're only going to come with the medium panniers, and then you're going to have a right and a left side. You can get those individually or as a set. So be aware of that when you go to order this. Now with these, they're going to have some roll cage clamps, again, all of the necessary hardware. And you want to lay everything out in order, compare this stuff to the instructions, make sure you're not missing anything, and then get familiar with the install process by going through those instructions. Now over at the machine, again, we're working on a two-seater. So this roll cage bar right behind your headrests on your seat in the back of the bed, this is going to have a couple brackets hanging down, and we're actually going to mount up to that. But the four-seaters, they're not going to have these brackets on there, so that's why the kit is going to come with the roll cage clamps with those brackets on there. So if that's the case, if you're working on a four-seater, you need to get these installed, and you're going to space these small holes center to center 13.5 inches. And what you can do, once you get these on, mount up the pannier rack to these to get them squared up, and then tighten these down. Now, one more thing with that, if you have a four-seater and need to put these on, you might have to remove your windshield if you have one to get those tightened. Now to mount the pannier rack, you're going to use your 10mm and 6mm bolts. Now you've got two mounting locations on each side. Big bolts going in the bottom, smaller bolt on top, and then install the nuts on the back side. Then we can go ahead and tighten the hardware down. Now, if you're having a hard time reaching those nuts on the backside and you have accessories in the way, you can go ahead and remove them. And as you assemble all this stuff, just keep in mind, it's a good idea to use some medium strength thread lock as you assemble everything. Now, if you have the cage mount, you're going to start with the clamps. And when you put these on, obviously this threaded side of the clamp, that's going to be facing the outside of the machine. You're going to go from the center of this to the next clamp. You want to be center to center 15 inches. Now before you tighten these down all the way, be aware you might have to adjust them just a little bit. We've just got them pretty close where we need them. So since we are on the driver's side of the machine, we're going to need the left hand or left side pannier bracket. Then we've got these M10 by 16mm flange bolts. We're going to thread those in. So for me, this doesn't line up perfectly. I'm just going to loosen up that bottom clamp just a little bit, get this lined up, and install that top bolt. Now for the clamps, I only have 2 bolts in each one right now. I'm going to install the remaining bolts. We're going to square everything up and make sure the pannier rack is level, and then tighten down all the hardware. Now if you're doing the cage mount combo kit, you're going to do those same steps on the other side. The only other thing you want to pay attention to is how high that lower roll cage clamp is, and we're just taking that measurement. We'll put the other clamp at the same height. At this point, we're ready to remove the mount plates. So we just need to pull on this cable, pull these off, and we're going to bring them over to the bench. Now to prep the panniers, you're going to start with the latch mounting plate, and you're going to start in these two corners with your 5mm screws. We'll go through those and the box. And then on the inside, for all the 5mm screws, you're going to install a washer and an acorn nut. Then for the latch, this hook, you need to make sure you have this flipped up. If you don't, then it's going to be trapped down. So make sure you flip that up. Then again, 4 screws through this and the washers and acorn nuts on the inside. Once you have everything loosely mounted up, you can go ahead and tighten it down. Then we'll do the same steps for the remaining latches. Next, we need to attach the pannier mount to the pannier. So first we're going to talk about the bed mounted panniers. So with these, if you have the bigger box, you're going to want to measure in 5 inches from each side, and then 5 7/8 inch from the bottom of the pannier to the bottom of that bracket. So that's for the large box. If you have the medium pannier, then you're going to measure in 4 inches from each side and 4 7/8 inch from the bottom. Now these are just suggested mounting locations for that mounting bracket. If you find that you want your box to sit differently, you can put it wherever you want it and then drill these holes that we're going to do in the next step. Now for the cage mount, the recommended location is going to be 4 inches from the top and then 4 inches from each side if you're measuring at the top of this bracket. Once you have your mount in the desired location, you want to use a Sharpie or paint pen and mark each of the mounting holes. Now I'm going to use a center punch in the top right corner and use an 11/32 inch drill bit to drill through that. So with that drilled out, you're going to take the plate, and you can take any of these mounting bolts, put it through there, and you just want to make sure the other marks still line up. So we're still good. I'm going to mark this bottom corner now, do the same thing, and once I have that done, I'll put a bolt in and we'll drill the remaining holes. To get the bracket mounted up, we're going to start by placing washers in the top 3 mounting locations. These are the M8 washers. And I'm going to set the bracket on top. Then these are the M8 by 20mm button head bolts. Then we have the support bracket on the inside, and then we'll finish it off with the nuts. Now for the 4 remaining mounting locations, we've got our M8 by 25mm button head bolt, we've got a washer on it, and we're going from the inside to the out. And as you put this in place, make sure that you have another washer in between the outside of the box and that bracket. Once you've done that, you can put the nut on the back side. Now that we have everything loosely installed, we'll go ahead and tighten it all down. Now we can install the lid. And then we're going to mount the pannier to the machine. Now we can prep things for these security knobs. So what we need to do is either take a Sharpie, you're going to mount the pannier to the rack, and you're going to come through the back side and mark the mounting location in this upper corner. But for us, we're not going to be able to get a Sharpie in there. So we actually just took an 8mm bolt. We're going to thread that in there. Then we're going to set our pannier rack in place. It's not going to clip all the way on with that bolt on there, but we're going to use that bolt to mark where we need to drill our hole. So I'm just going to tap on the other side with a mallet. That's going to let us know where we need to drill. And we'll take the box over to the bench and drill it out. Now we're going to clip the pannier onto the rack. Now we're going to take this knob. You want to install the serrated washer onto it. Then we're going to come from the inside of the box and thread it into the rack. Now with the locking knob in place, that's going to allow you to install your lid. You can lock the latch. And the pannier is going to be securely attached to the machine. So from here, all you need to do, if you have more panniers than just one, you can do those same exact steps to the other panniers and you're good to go. That's it for the Tusk UTV Quick Release Cargo System for the XP1000s. Again, this is going to be similar for the 2-seaters, 4-seaters, and the turbos. And if you need one of these kits, they're available on our website. We've got several different options on there, so go check that out. We offer free shipping on orders over $75. And if you want to see more helpful content like this, subscribe to our channel. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.